Everybody, welcome back with the Purplatypus is the name, and today we're talking Suikoden Star Leap, the first of probably many videos, although not right away. And also, there's no background music, all right? I'm cringing, I don't want to look up anything, so we're just talking raw on this game right now. So there was a live stream on, I don't know what this says. All I know is they talked about the game, and they basically said this game is coming to global, which we know, and we got a bunch of details. Now, on the right side of the screen are the notes that I took. Now, hopefully there's nothing dumb in there. I'm sure there is. But what's important, let's just get it out of the way right now, okay? You cannot currently pre-register the game. There is no announced release date, okay? We do not know when it is coming to the game, when it is coming to the United States. However, it will be on Steam and mobile devices, and you should be able to play just like all the other games now between your phone and Steam and stuff like that. So you could wishlist it on Steam, and I don't think it's set to come out in a long way in the future. I think it is planning to come out relatively soon. And on top of that, I believe it will be worldwide at the same time. I don't believe there's currently a version of this. That is not that important. The point is, we don't know yet. But let's actually talk about what the game is. What is this? What is Suikoden Star Leap, guys? This is the newest Suikoden game that takes place it has an actual solar year 453 is what I think they said. It takes place after Suikoden 5 and before Suikoden 1. So in this gap, I don't actually know that much about the lore. I've played Suikoden 1 and 2, but I haven't played like 5, so I don't know the prequel stuff. There are going to be 108 stars in the game. If you've played Suikoden, you know this, 108 recruitable characters. Now, if it's like Suikoden, these will not be 108 playable characters. Most of them, it's usually like 60 to 70 of them are playable, and then you're gonna get like merchants, innkeepers, maybe just strategists who aren't actually going to be controllable units, but you're going to go around and you're going to recruit 108 stars of destiny is what they're calling it. And all stars of destiny in this game will be free to obtain, is the understanding right now. However, there will be a character gacha as well. I don't really know how they're going to do it. Honestly, it's going to be interesting to see how you're going to be able to rank up these free characters to their max awakenings or whatever they're going to have, and still have gacha characters. But there will be gacha characters from outside the 108. Now, what I'm expecting here is outside of the 108 is actually going to be Suikoden characters and maybe some original characters. But like, for example, Flick, Victor, and Odessa are all in this game. I do not know if they're part of the 108 or if they are going to be gacha characters. I would assume that they're going to be gacha characters purely from the fact that those would likely generate more revenue. More people are going to pull for Flick than are going to pull for a brand new character that you've never heard of before, probably. So who knows? But there will be 108 collectible characters, and then there will be a weapon gacha as well. Now, as far as what the actual combat is, it is very much like Octopath Traveler COTC, kind of mixed with a little bit of the Persona system. So if you come down here and you take a look, you are going to have 6 characters in combat, which is cool on its own, and a lot of cool animations and stuff like that. And you have what's called a turn gauge here. So this is the order in which characters go. The faster you are, the more turns you can get. So speed is going to matter. I do not believe there is any PvP in this game, so it'll be purely for more agile characters. Are you going to be able to min-max and get a lot of speed gear and do a lot of buffs like that? I don't know yet. That's like very much in the weeds, how important speed will be, but you'll get more action. So you have 6 characters, and they basically have 2 skills and an ultimate and a basic attack. Basic attacks in this game are not considered worthless. They will, even though they're much weaker, they will help you modify your turns because you get another turn quite a bit faster after doing a basic attack. So if you don't really need to use any of these skills right now and you want to get characters in a different order, a basic attack is a way you can actually manipulate that a little bit. But then, you got 2 skills and an ultimate. This is pretty similar to how Persona is. Persona, you technically have 3 skills and then the highlight. So this is maybe a little more like that. Maybe you have less skills than that, but you have 6 characters in your party. Now, enemies have weaknesses. You could break their weaknesses and they go down. And when they go down, then you're going to deal more damage. It's not like Persona in the sense that you're going to deal an all-out attack, but it's more like Octopath Traveler where you break them and then you will deal a bunch of extra damage. So yeah, they're going to have a full elemental weakness system. So again, it's probably good that they're going to have a strong elemental weakness system, because if the 108 characters and more characters coming in the gacha, like it's got to be like, there's going to be a lot of characters with a lot of different elements. So hopefully you're going to be able to make reasonable free-to-play teams right away. And you can already see here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It looks like 8 different elements if I have to guess here. It doesn't look like the normal physical attack is an element, but they might be elemental basic attacks anyway, like because some games will actually do that. There is also going to be real-time, but with pausing tactical battles here. It does look like it kind of follows... It looks like it has a tighter system. Suikoden 1, you basically couldn't lose. It was mostly scripted. This feels like this will be actually a little more strategic. It looks like you could bring actually 6 characters, just like a normal party. And then they're basically going to move around. And then you're going to be able to use skills. And when you go to use skills, it actually pauses time, so you don't need to really worry about that. So this is a huge part of Suikoden. I am unsure of actually how important this will be in the overall mechanics of this game. If this is something that you're going to be doing every week for weekly bosses to get permanent progression, or if this is something they throw in for events that you do, you go through like maybe 5 stages, all of them one time to get some currency for an event. Like, I don't know if this is going to be a major part of the game, or if this is just something that's fun to dabble in from time to time, like a mini game almost. So I didn't take a timestamp of basically where all the skills were being used, but there were a bunch of really, really cool animations that are kind of reminded me of Disgaea, where they were just kind of big and over the top and fun. So overall, it seems like it's got a pretty good production value. Like, just the game looks good. Which I think is actually just very important. Also, worth noting, this isn't like, this looks like an open world. It's not open world, I don't think, like in a traditional like Breath of the Wild sense, but I mean it's like a normal JRPG where, like in Octopath Traveler, you're kind of on these rails and you walk around. It seems like you have free, full, orthogonal movement, something like that. So that should be really good as well for actually feeling like you're in the environment. And again, I mean, look at these fucking cool ass skills. I guess this was the timestamp, right? So that is good. I do want to say, I do think that the designs of the characters are a little gooner baity, which is fine. I'm actually not against that. But like, I look at some of these characters and, you know, I mean, she's literally, you could see it's definitely a little bit, it's not as like on the nose as other games that I've played, like Girls Frontline 2. But like, there's definitely a little bit of that art style direction. Some people are really, really negative against that, and other people don't care about it at all. And other people love it. So it's just something that I noticed that it felt like it was not full on goonified, but also it was definitely not like on the super, super mellow side as well. It definitely is a little more on the edge. The final thing I really learned by watching this was kind of another thing about mechanics was there's actually kind of a cool thing. If you have up 4 allies going in a row like this, like, so right now they have 3, but if you get up to 4 in a row, you form something called a chain. And this basically lets all 4 of the allies act at the same time. And this will increase their damage. So it is actually going to be pretty important to try to manipulate the gauge. And I actually am wondering how this affects this is one of the things I immediately think of because I'm just kind of a nerd for these kinds of things. How does this affect the balance of boss fights? Because if you're going up against one big enemy, you're always probably unless they're really fast, you're probably always going to be getting chains guaranteed, right? So I wonder how they're going to balance that, because the less enemies you fight, in theory, it should be easier and easier to get chains, right? Because there's less enemies that interrupt your chains. So it should become pretty darn easy. But again, who exactly knows? I don't really know how that's going to work, but it is something that's interesting. So overall, the game looked really cool. I will post this live stream down below, a link to it. This is for all of Suikoden, not just Star Leap, which is what I'm personally focused on right now. But so there's like a section of this which is about it, and you know, you can see the cool character designs. These are the evil people. You know, I mean, she doesn't look like that much of a hero, but I mean, hell, she could join me if she wants. But yeah. So overall, honestly, just kind of short and sweet. Wanted to talk about the game. I'll keep you up to date. It just looks fucking fun as hell. I recommend going and watching this. Even if you don't turn the subtitles on, you could just get a feel for like how the combat looks and flows. Like, it's just a good looking combat system. Again, it is really going to come down to, is the gacha system good? Is the story good? Is the progression systems good? It's not all just about a combat system. And with only 2 skills per character, it could be a little awkward. But you have 6 characters, so maybe there is some good amount of depth to it. This is all things we'll find out more in the future. But honestly, it looks like they are really putting a lot of effort into it. But you can see here, it is definitely a mobile game. Anyway, guys, that's all for this one. Much love. Purplatypus. Let me know. Are you excited for Suikoden Star Leap? Or is this just another gacha money grab for a franchise that you love and now you think it's a soulless, heartless piece of shit and that you wish the world was different? Let me know. Personally, I'm kind of excited. Anyway, I'll see you guys on the flip-flops. Bye!